Let's now connect with State Representative Brad Halbrook here with Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk. Representative, thanks for taking time and being flexible with me this morning. Back from vacation, I could lose track of time a bit, so thank you for taking time this morning. How are you?
I'm all right. That's quite all right. I'm pretty flexible this morning, so we got a big day ahead, and so thanks for taking time to have me on to talk to your listeners about this important matter.
And I do want to talk about the town hall you have set a little bit later on tonight down in Effingham to focus on energy. But the last segment, I had callers call in to tell me what big news items I missed. And everything from, the raid on the former president's home in Florida to the big package that Congress is poised to pass. But somebody texted me about the story of LG Sims, the one of the chief sponsors of the controversial Safety Act, apparently being interviewed by law enforcement in relation to his relationship with body cameras. Have you seen the story? What's your reaction to that?
Yeah, so I have seen the story briefly. I've not dived into it too super deep. I'm just kind of waiting on more details to be announced or unfold. So I'm just kind of sitting on the sidelines, kind of waiting for that to see where that's going to go. But that's an interesting development, without a doubt.
Well, and understood you don't have all the details, and I don't have all the details myself, but we've seen in the past some things that have happened. Why is it important that we get the details as soon as possible to ensure that everything's above board with what we've seen in the past from Mike Madigan, Louis Arroyo, Martin Sandoval, and so on?
Well, I understand the need to gather the facts before any conclusions are made. I think what's timeliness about this and how it regards to the Safety Act is how impactful on every citizen and every person in law enforcement at every level of government. This has sweeping changes that's going to affect a lot of people. So this is really important to find out exactly what's been going on here. And see how we kind of move forward, because this is a huge shift in policy with the Safety Act.
State Representative Brad Halbrook with us here on Springfield's Morning News. You got a town hall tonight with several other of your colleagues in the southern part of the state to talk about energy policy. You talk about the Safety Act, broad sweeping legislation changing the landscape of criminal justice in Illinois. Well, we just recently had the Clean Jobs Act and the move towards more investment in renewables. What are you guys going to be talking about at tonight's town hall?
Yeah, so, back in the spring, Ameren, which services most of us in central and southern Illinois, outside of the rural electric co-ops, announced an average of about a $52 a month increase for residential consumers, much more to larger business consumers, manufacturers, that would be coming here the 1st of June. And this has to do with kind of some policy that was put in place several years ago, up to a few years ago, and kind of with the conclusion of the CEJA bill back last September. But the five of us, myself, Representative Calkins, Representative Miller, Representative Niemerg, and Representative Wilhauer, are all going to come together with some industry experts tonight at 6 o'clock in Effingham. You might see two different places advertised. It's the same location, whether it's the Keller Convention Center or the Holiday Inn. The convention center is really attached and on the south side of the Holiday Inn. So if you get to one place or the other, you're going to be pretty close, and people will direct you to get into the right location. But we're going to come together. We've got a slide set, and we'll have the different ones of us and the experts kind of talk about different aspects of this energy bill that was passed last fall. I think it was 950 pages, plus or minus. Of sweeping legislation that puts date-certain closures on natural gas and coal-fired generation, and then limits some natural gas production in some of these peaker plants. So I think it's just really important that our constituents hear from us, from the industry experts, about how this is why and how this is really making these changes.
We talked with an energy observation group, Enel North America, and earlier this morning they were talking about MISO, a recent announcement of investments for transmission lines and how it's really going to help with energy reliability issues and help with costs. With new energy lines being built, is it more of a focus we should have on how exactly the energy is being produced?
Yeah, I think it's really more of about a production thing. We said last summer when this was kind of becoming a thing, we went on a multi-county energy tour, toured coal plants, coal mines, nuclear production facilities, wind and solar facilities. We said if this bill becomes law, it's going to make our energy sources less reliable. It's going to make them more costly. It's going to drive jobs out of the state, and we're going to import energy into the state. All those things is not good for us as consumers in the state. Under every square foot of Illinois soil is coal. Now, it may be at varying depths and various thicknesses, but we have a tremendous amount of coal, and there's, I believe, a fair amount of natural gas. We know in the southeastern part of the state that there is a ton of oil, but, we kind of missed the fracking boom there of a few years ago just because it took so long to get the legislation passed, and it's really a burdensome bill at best. But, all these factors is we were pretty much, I believe, energy independent in this state, but this regulation is changing that, and it's driving our costs up and making things less reliable. Thankfully, I believe our summer so far has been a bit cooler, and so I've not seen or heard of any blackouts or brownouts in our part of the state. So hopefully that's a good thing. But right now it's we're kind of predicted mid to high 70s here, middle of August, and that's a little bit unseasonably cool, I believe, for what is kind of we normally experience.
And looking forward to this weekend here in Springfield, the first full weekend of the Illinois State Fair. Representative, we're looking at highs in the mid 80s with sunny skies. So hopefully that holds out for all of next week as well. I'm sure we'll see you at the Illinois State Fair. But tonight, if people want to get more information, there's a town hall that you and several other state representatives are hosting down in Effingham. It's going to be at 1301 Avenue of Mid-America in Effingham at a convention center there, the Holiday Inn, and people will be able to get more information from you and others, including some industry experts about what's going on with the state's energy and what consumers can expect. Greatly appreciate you taking the time this morning.
Greg, thank you for taking time. Again, they can find us anywhere on the web, at our websites. There's information there, social media. There's an RSVP link if they can take a minute to click onto that so that we make sure and have proper accommodations for everybody.
Appreciate it. Have a great day, and we'll talk soon.
Thanks. Talk to you later.
It is Springfield's Morning News. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY. Springfield's News and Talk at 8:53 from Culver's West on Wabash.
It's time to apply at Culver's West on Wabash.